Hi, I'm Don Stegall. This is the Evolution 46 NX engine. I did a video on taking it apart and cleaning it. I'm getting ready to break it in, and I've already primed it by opening the carb and turning it over a few times, so it already has fuel in it. One thing I changed since the video is I put a Merlin 2003 HD plug in it, which will be a little less compression than the standard plug, but most people will be using this size of plug anyway, so I want to see how it does with this plug. If I have a problem, I'll switch back to the stock plug. I'm going to try to get it up to RPM as quick as possible, and I'm going to start it on low because that's usually the easiest way to get one started quickly. If I have to, I'll push the throttle up to get it going. Okay, I have a problem. I have to re-engineer. I have to lower the tank. It's putting too much fuel into it. They made these tanks adjustable. Well, we're going to start it on full throttle this time. You know how I was talking about killing the glow plug?
Yeah.
It did kill the glow plug. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
well. You start having problems, then you compound your problems trying to solve the problems.
I hear you. Been there, done it.
a whole lot better with a working glow plug.
What a difference, huh?
What a difference.
Yeah.
So my initial break-in was kind of sloppy. I was using this 24-ounce tank that I'd never used before. I just assembled it this morning. Usually I use a bubbleless tank for glow engines, but I'd gotten used to using the big 24-ounce tanks on the gas engines, and I thought it would be convenient. I refurbished my flight box last night, and we'll end up flooding this engine. I was able to get it up to about 18,100 with this 7.8x6 prop, and of course it's not really broken in yet. But I've changed over to the Max Black muffler. It's basically a low back pressure muffler that has no baffles in it. So we're going to see what the engine does with the Max muffler. Sometimes some engines really come to life with the Max Black muffler, also known as the one-piece muffler. So I'm going to try to start this thing up, and we'll see how it goes. And I put a fuel clamp on so I can control the flow a little easier this time. I got to about 17,800. I'm a little surprised by that. Usually the black muffler outperforms the other mufflers. So I don't know if it's just they don't have the engine broken in yet, or if there's something going on with the fuel system. I don't really think the fuel system's got a problem at this point. I had a piece of foam under the tank, between the tank and the bracket, and that was raising the height of the tank. So I'm going to run it one more time. Actually, I'm going to run it several times a day and move on to the next engine in the test. So I'm going to let it cool down for a couple of minutes and then I'll do another run. I'm in from a long day of breaking in and running engines. My break-in of the Evolution 46NX didn't go exactly as planned. I had several problems. I'm used to using bubbleless tanks when I break in glow engines, but my test stand that's on the pole is set up like this with the big tank holder, and I use a big 24-ounce tank for gasoline engines. So this morning, after I made the video on preparing the Evolution 46NX, I put together a glow version of the tank, and I put a piece of 1/2-inch foam rubber under it. Well, my test stand that's on the post is an older version, and this newer 3-inch wide tank holder won't go as far down. So I had the tank well above the carb, and I flooded the engine. It flooded it so much I had to take the muffler off. I finally got it started, and it was running, and I tried transitioning from high throttle to low throttle and back, and the engine stopped. Well, I put the glow plug meter on, and the glow plug was gone. I had changed the stock glow plug to a Merlin 2003 HD plug, which is a short plug, and the plug that comes in the engine is a long plug. So I put a fuel cutoff on my fuel line. So I took the foam rubber out from under the tank. I put a fuel clamp on the pickup line, and I changed the glow plug back to the stock glow plug, and then it ran fine. So I ran it some, broke it in, did some heat cycling, and then got performance numbers. So this is not the actual initial run of the engine, but it's close enough. The engine still got a whole lot of compression, and I don't think I hurt the engine by running it with a short plug. After running the engine with the stock muffler and getting a RPM reading of around 18,000 RPMs, I put on the Max one-piece black muffler. I was surprised that I was only able to get to 17,700. Apparently the engine likes the stock muffler better, and the stock muffler does have baffles in it. I felt it to check it out because I neglected to do that earlier. But apparently the engine likes some back pressure, or perhaps even a tuned muffler. The engine ran well, although it wasn't turning the numbers of a TT Pro 40. It may be just because it's still really, really tight. Got a whole lot of compression. The engine actually ran really good. It might get up to Thunder Tiger Pro 40 speed with further braking, because it's got a lot of compression. So even with my clumsy break-in technique, the engine seems to be fine. So what I'm going to do now is just lube it up and put it in the bag. And after running engines, especially on the test stand, I like to just take the muffler off, and lube them with this Dextron 2 ATF fluid. I'll lube it up well. Put some in the crankcase and so I like to turn it over, let the oil get all throughout the inside of the engine, and then put it away in a bag. I found if I don't bag my engines, sometimes they get gummed up. You should turn your engines over at least every 6 months, even when they're bagged up. Take them out, shoot a little fuel into them or a little oil, and that way you'll keep your engines from getting gummed up.